All right, here we are. Oh, whoa. Okay, so yeah, I did a little thing about the New York Times best 100 books. I guess I had read more, and I was familiar with more than I led on. I think. I mean, I have read Jonathan Franzen, Roberto Bolano, Colson Whitehead, Ishiguro, Joan Didion, Cormac McCarthy, Michael Chabon, George Sanders, Richard Powers, Rachel Kushner, Jeffrey Eugenides, Mary Gateskill. Those are the ones before I already read before. The one, I've kind of checked out. I had Elena Ferrante. I had one of her books. I might still have it. I might have sold it. Uh, and then WGC Bald was a book that I was sort of interested in reading before I saw this list. Paul Beatty, I met him before. I've read some of his poetry. Ian McEwan. I'm not sure if I read that book or not. I want to read it. David Mitchell, I have the book. And now I'm familiar with. Dalkey Archive used to publish a bunch of her books. Maggie Nelson, I was already kind of. Oh, and Jennifer Egan, I've already read her too. Zadie Smith, I read White Teeth. I have another one called Northwest NW, and I might have read On Beauty. I don't even know because but so so those are the books in the past. I mean, that's about 20, 25 authors, but there's at least 50 or 60 authors I've never even heard of. I mean, now hearing about the list, I mean, there was some nonfiction and some other genre fiction that I just kind of discount. But I mean, I'm going to look at my own list. I started doing lists. Let's see. I probably have lists from before. I mean, uh, one of my favorite writers is Magnus Mills, and let's see. I'll just mention him. Um, let's see. I don't. Let's see. Oh yeah, I guess he wrote most of his books in the 21st century. Three to See the King, 2001. The Scheme of Full Employment, 2003. What else? I've read Restraint of Beasts, and All Quiet on the Orient Express. There's probably some other ones. I should probably read more of him. But he wrote most of his books since 2000, so I guess some of them are short stories and stuff. Yeah, Magnus Mills. I was Three to See the King, and any of his books really. I think he's probably somebody I would recommend. And let's see, where were we at here? So let's start in. And so I don't really have a list of every year, but I do have a list starting in 2016. So 2016, my favorite book was Jerusalem by Alan Moore. A lot of people hated that book. And let me just look at my top list here. Let me scratch my. It's early in the morning. Um, let's see. Okay, so so since we're going to bring in biographies, there was a book by about Louise Nevelson, Light and Shadow by Laurie Wilson. I thought was really great. Um, Under the Big Black Sun: A Personal History of L.A. Punk by John Doe. That was pretty good. Lowell Torhurst did his Cure book that year. I Hate the Internet by Jarrett Kobach. I think that was like probably my favorite fiction book of that year. Barney Rossett came out with his autobiography. Let's see. Okay, well, I'd have to mention The Fugitives by Christopher Sorrentino. Definitely one of my top 5 books. I mean, I don't. I think Sorrentino's like one of the best writers right now. Magnus with him and Magnus Mills. Let's see who else. Okay, okay. So another interesting book, My Damage: The Story of Punk Rock Survivor by Keith Morris of the Circle Jerks. I thought that was good. Mary Roach, Grunt. I mean, any of her Mary Roach books are interesting. And you got to throw The Girls by Emma Klein. I didn't realize that was that year. Okay, so and there's probably a lot of more. So that's 2016. Let's go to 2017. Okay, so this year, There was an Angela Carter biography, The Invention of Angela Carter by Edmund Gordon. And I read a lot of books about Lou Reed. Lou Reed A Life by Anthony de Curtis came out after Kathy Acker, a biography by Chris Kraus. I guess this is like more of a nonfiction year for me. The Kathy Acker book I'm actually mentioned in that book. Lonely Boy by Steve Jones is great. Somebody with a Little Hammer, essays by Mary Gateskill. Let's see what else. Okay, so Bob Marley. Okay. Let's see what else. Any of these ones. Oh, okay. Paul Auster, 4321. You gotta love that book. I mean, that's probably his best. That's probably his best later book. Oh yeah, this I guess MX. Okay, and Lincoln and the Bardo, George Sanders. That was on the list. Oh, and Exit West. I must have read that book if I put it on there. Okay. Okay, so we got rid of that one. Okay, so that's 2017. Okay, here's 2018. Oh, okay, so Never a Lovely So Real. Okay, so here we go. Okay, Never a Lovely So Real, The Work and Life of Nelson Algren by Colin Asher. You gotta love that one. Swan, Sacrifice and Transcendence, The Oral History. There was a book, Tesla, the Richard Munson, the book, I thought that was pretty good. The Hard Stuff by Wayne Kramer. Let's see what else here. I don't know all these books to see. Okay, so well, yeah, The Lives of the Surrealists by Desmond Morris. I don't know if that's actually came out that year, but let's see. Okay, so I didn't have a big list that year. Okay, so let's just so that's 2000. That was 2018, the Nelson Algren year. 2019, Sontag by Benjamin Moser. A Sand Book by Ariana Rhymes. That's probably like the only poetry book I can like. Face It by Debbie Harry. There was this book about the Chateau Marmont, the Castle on the Sunset by Sean Levy. That was good. So 2019. Let's see what else. Okay. Oh, yeah, Nothing's Bad Luck, The Lives of Warren Zevon. I remember that book. Okay, so I'm just kind of like, let's see what else we got here. Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's see. Oh, My Week Beats Your Year, Encounters with Lou Reed by Michael Heath. That was a good one. And White by Bret Easton Ellis. So that was pretty good. See, oh, here's some fiction. Okay, so This Is Pleasure by Mary Gateskill. It's just a short story. Big Bang by David Bauman. Sing to It, News Stories by Amy Hempel. Okay, so we'll stop there. Okay, so that's 2019. Okay, so let's get to 2020. For some reason, no, that's 23. 2020 is over here. So let's see. This doesn't pop up. Okay, so Miss Aluminum by Suzanne Moore. Wrong, a critical biography of Dennis Cooper by Darmian Hester. Daddy by Emma Klein. Death in Her Hands, Tessa Mosfeg. Death in Her Hands. Let's see. What's it? Okay, so we'll pass on that. Oh, yeah, let's put in the 5 books of Robert Moses by Arthur Nassessian. The Lucky Star by Volman. Niche, a memoir and pastiche by Momus. Otaku, Chris Cluey. I read that book. He lives down the street from me. Okay, there's a Tori Amos book. Let's see what else. Oh, yeah, Mark Lanigan, Sing Backwards and Weep, a memoir by Mark Lanigan. And you gotta love Violet Bent Backwards Over the Grass by Lana Del Rey, or poetry. Okay, so yeah, that wasn't But 2020 was like the COVID time. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Okay, so let's see. We got okay, so we're up to 2021, and let's see. Okay, John Lurie, History of Bones, a memoir. That was great. Beautiful World, Where Are You, Sally Rooney? Yeah, I didn't like Sally Rooney. I think is one of the major authors of this 21st century. So she's sort of simple, but she's kind of like, but I don't think it's bad writing. And Now Beacon, Now See a Son's memoir by Christopher Sorrentino. That was one of my favorites of that year. You gotta love Rememberings by Sinead O'Connor. The Unquiet Englishman, A Life of Graham Greene by Richard Green. That was great. Heaven by Miko Kawakami. I don't know if that's a translation. I don't know when the actual book came out. Let's see what else. Siege of Comedians by Susan Dage. I think Susan Dage is one of the great writers of our time. Wayward by Dana Spiotta. She's really smart. Okay, so I Wish by Dennis Cooper. Let's see what else. Yeah, person singular stories by Haruki Murakami. Clara and the Sun by Ishiguro. The Hard Crowd essays by Rachel Kushner. And Bewilderment by Richard Powers. Okay, so there's quite a lot of books. Okay, so let's see. Oh yeah, I liked Always Crashing in the Same Car by Matthew Spector. Traffic by Ricky Ducournay. Crying in H Mart by Michelle Zauner, which probably you think would be on some of these lists here. I mean, that was, that's okay. So that's 2020. So here we go. 22. How we doing on time? Okay, so we're almost done here. Okay, what year is this? Okay, this is 22. Okay, so 2022. Eat Your Mind, the Radical Life and Work of Kathy Acker by Jason McBride. Great book. Oh, Everyone Thought We Were Crazy. Dennis Hopper, Brooke Hayward, The 60s Los Angeles by Mark Razzo. That was great. All the Lovers in the Night, Miko Kawakami. Bowie at 75, Martin Popoff. Martin Popoff wrote a lot of music books. You should check them out. Some New Kind of Kick, a memoir by Kate Congo Powers. Also a poet, Frank O'Hara, My Father and Me by Ada Cahoon. She has a couple interesting books. Jack Skelly, he wrote his Interstellar Theme Park, New and Selected Writing was great. And there's some more. This is like some more. Just like maybe Out There Stories by Kate Folk. Bloodbath Nation by Paul Auster. Ghost Music by Anne Yu, I thought was good. The 90s, a book by Chuck Klosterman. And what's this? Also poet. Yeah. And Bowie. Okay, so that's that year. Okay, so we can go right to 2023. Okay, so last year, Great Falls, Montana, Fast Times, Post-Punk Weirdos, and a Coming of Age Home Again by Reggie Watts. Read that. Art of Darkness, A History Goth by John Robb. The Complete Fear of Kathy Acker by Jack Skelly. Against the Written Word, Towards a Universal Literacy by Ian F. Sylvonius. Doppelganger, Trip into the Mirror World by Naomi Klein. Material Wealth, Mining the Personal Archive of Allen Ginsberg by Pat Thomas. Oh, Cosmic Scholar, The Life and Times of Harry Smith by John Sewed. Sonic Life, a memoir by Thurston Moore. Mother How by Craig Clevenger. So Dalkey Days by Stephen Moore was pretty good. And, that's about it. That's a lot of books. Those are the books that I liked. I mean, that was like fiction. I mean, I read some years I only read nonfiction. There was but that was what I was reading, and so let's stop it there. Oh yeah, yeah. There was a Jimmy Page. There was a Jimmy Page. I'm looking at this comments here. There's a Jimmy Page, but yeah, where is that? Oh yeah, actually, actually found three more books. That I saw the comments. Doctor Sexy. There's the Jimmy Page. This Chris. I read this. This is really good. I don't know why it was on that list. This might be like earlier than 2016. Jimmy Page. I forgot to mention this. Um, Serge Gainsbourg book. It was good. Jeremy Allen came out a few years ago, and this there's a book about Bowie's Scary Monsters album. I found this one like I mean it's kind of academic, but it's pretty good and stuff. So oh yeah, yeah I agree on the Chris Franz Talking Heads book. I thought that was pretty good. It was pretty bitter. It was kind of they kind of made up though. I kind of like when he was sort of a little weird there. Yeah, yeah. Any other books should I check out? Any other ones, Doctor? I'm gonna cut this off pretty soon. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. Chris Franz was in the book. He seemed like he was making fun of David Byrne most of the book, and like he took too much credits, and he kind of ripped off ideas from different people, and but since they've been touring for Stop Making Sense, it seems like they kind of reconciled. They seem like they're almost on the verge of reforming and getting back together. Is that what you have you read that book or is that what you think or what do you think? Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, no, I was thinking about like he said that him and Eno kind of ripped off the idea for My Life of the Bush of Ghosts off of the German band Can or something, and like a lot of those ideas, a lot of the albums that they're most known for is was kind of a group effort, and David Byrne ended up taking a lot of the credit and a lot of the writing credits for some of that stuff. So yeah, so yeah, read. I mean, everyone should read books, and I mean, the New York Times. That's I was talking about the New York Times bestseller. I mean, and like I'd read some of those books. Yeah, where did that list go? I just tossed it. Here. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, I mean, I wrote like so. I mean, It seemed like when I looked at that list, I mean, at least 60 or 70 authors I never even heard of. Like I don't know. Let's see. How about? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. His wife. Yeah, his wife got dumped. Well, okay. Let me tell you a story about David Byrne. Like so, like me and my college friend Gene, like used to. We both lived in New York in the '90s and stuff, and he went to Brooklyn College, and he was going out with this chick named Rebecca, who was getting an English degree. Like Gene's a teacher in Portland now. So, but there was this girl, Rebecca. She got a degree, teaching degree at Brooklyn College in the '90s, but she ended up becoming like a escort and stuff. So there was, and so we I think one time when Gene come and visit me in New York, he stayed at her place. It was like kind of like in the East 40s and stuff, over close to the Empire State Building, but more towards the water. And she was like she never got a job teaching and stuff. She just became like this escort who was like flying the world, like you know, hanging out in Aspen and all these places, and supposedly like she hooked up with David Byrne at some point. That was like the story. I don't know if it was true, but maybe stuff. I don't know. What do you think about that? What do you think about David Byrne going out with escorts and stuff. I don't know. We'll find out one of these days if that was a true story. Yeah, but supposedly she was super hot and made like 100,000 or more a year, for a couple years there. Yeah, yeah, he's a little strange. Him, yeah, him and and Mark Mothersbaugh have like this kind of weird type of autism that's kind of weird. Is all the all the true stories. Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a couple good songs in there. It's a little dated now because I think they were kind of making fun of the National Enquirer, and all that stuff. Yeah, yeah. I'm. Let's see. As you can tell, I'm like a. Let's see. Yeah. I'm a big Talking Heads fan. Here's like the Brazil Tropical Collection, Remain in the Light, Tom Tom Club. What's it? Talking Heads 77. More songs about building and food. What's this? There's Fear of Music. Here's their best record, I think. And I have pretty much all of them here. Okay, thanks. Oh, it went on a little bit too long, but it's funny that you. Okay, well, we'll do more of these ones. Okay, take care.